Hello and welcome to a video where I'm actually going to be shopping because the church by the boys' house is having its book sale, and I did amazing last time finding multiple items worth over $50. So this is the second day of the sale. So I'm going to see if there are any good treasures to pay full price for, and I am taking you all with me, and let's see what we find. All right, everyone, welcome to the church. I am doing the good YouTube thing and actually pausing long enough as I try to open this door to show you the price list that's over here. So it's $2 for hardcovers, $1 for soft covers, and 25 cents for children's. I will immediately forget all of those numbers, even though I sat there and looked at it for a really long time. and I'll explain to you when I forgot that. I can already tell walking in that there is a lot fewer books in here this time than there were last time I went to one of these sales. Again, this is the second day, so that maybe that has something to do with it. And they do a good job. The volunteers here do a great job about actually trying to organize everything, but not everyone knows all of the authors or all of the books because there are literally billions of titles at this point published over the course of human history. So I do look at every single table just to make sure that I don't miss anything that I would want to purchase, because also stuff gets moved because people pick stuff up and then don't feel the impetus to actually put it back where they found it. So I do check every table. They do try to sort things out by popular male authors, popular female authors, crime, suspense, thriller, romance, classics, cooking, history. They do their best. I'm going to come over here to the children's section because that seems to be the most sparse. And also because I found some really good children's books last time. Nothing jumps out at me except for this Care Bears book. And this is the point in which I had forgotten how much books were. I forgot that this was going to be 25 cents and not $2, so I do put it back. I do promise I pick it up before I leave, when my brain decides to kick back in to functioning, and I remember that it was only going to be 25 cents. In addition to there being fewer books, there are also fewer shoppers, which is actually, evens out for me. I don't pick up a whole lot of crime and suspense books. I will pick up, vintage Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes, or leather-bound versions of those, or omnibuses. Those do well, but I don't really know a whole lot of that particular genre because it's not a genre I read a whole lot of. Most of my knowledge with books has to do with books that I have personally read or am interested in, or genres I've read and interested in, unless it is cookbooks. I love buying and selling cookbooks. However, I've realized that despite a beautiful book being one that would probably have really interesting recipes in it and would look gorgeous displayed in your kitchen, does not mean it is necessarily worth reselling, which is what that book was, and so I put it back. This is female mystery, and also not a genre I will pick up very much. I will pick up the guidepost books, the cozy mysteries, although those sales seem to have slowed down for some reason. They used to sell really fast. Also, I just realized that there's a bunch of Outlander books on that table, and I did not see them. One of the great tragedies of doing YouTube is that sometimes when I'm editing, I really just want to smack my forehead. Because it's like, why? Why didn't you see that? How did you miss that? I can't believe you missed that. This is Classics table. However, almost everything on this table is science fiction and fantasy. So that is what I'm picking up, is a whole bunch of science fiction and fantasy books. And I am very happy to find these. I had great luck last time as well, finding a whole bunch of vintage science fiction and fantasy books. I am leaving the Star Wars books behind, not because they don't sell, but because they are in poor condition. Also, here is Ender's Game. I love buying and selling this particular book. It doesn't matter if it's mass market or trade paperback. If it's in good shape, I will pick it up and I will resell it.
either on Pango or on eBay if I put in a lot. But this is D.H. Lawrence, and it's one of his classic pieces, so that will probably go up on eBay if I convince myself not to keep it. I do pick up modern library books even when they don't have the covers on them, but that one had some condition issues. This is Ernest Hemingway. I love picking up Ernest Hemingway. He does great for me on Pango, and I am actually upset at myself the fact I did not pick this up. These Scribner Library trade paperbacks, specifically because it was Ernest Hemingway, would have done well on either eBay or on Pango, and I'm actually mad at myself that I did not pick that up. I have no idea why I didn't buy that. I maybe just didn't realize it was Ernest Hemingway. I just saw In Our Time, and I don't know, had a blonde moment or something, even though I'm not blonde. I don't know. I'm just kind of mad at myself. I am, again, checking all the titles. I now have this fat stack of books. This is a classic piece by J.D. Salinger. I would have picked that up if it was in better condition. It had writing all on the edge, and so I actually left that behind. That is something I would have picked up for Pango, and if it was like a super vintage copy, I would have picked that up for eBay, and if it was in good condition. So I'm going to come back around. This is just like classic fiction that I guess they didn't know how to categorize. I do see an award-winning book here. Any award winners like Nobel Prize winners, Pulitzer Prize winners, Nebula Award winners, Hugo Award winners, National Book Award winners. Those are books that do well on Pango. Some of them, of course, will do well on eBay. That one will go on Pango. So I'm just going through the general fiction to see if I can find any gems, or any more gems, I should say. Again, if you're seeing stuff here that you would have picked up that I didn't, I'm so sorry. This is Gear. I have not had good luck selling that series, even though it's, I think, fantasy. This is Nut Hampson. I would not have picked up this book if I had realized that it has this like a dedication on the inside of it. I didn't open it up, and I should have. I just saw Hampson and picked it up. It's a Scandinavian author who has several well-renowned classics. Remains of the Day is actually, I'm super excited. I actually have a copy of that to read that I found, and so now I have one to sell. And that is like, I think they made it into a movie, but it was written in 1989. And it's a book about a butler, I think. Again, haven't read it, heard good things about it. And there's a real good close-up of my arm as I try to precariously carry this giant stack of books here around with me, because for some odd reason, I didn't think I would find a whole bunch. I don't know why I didn't think I would find a whole bunch. So any books or spines that catch my eye as far as aesthetically, I will pick them up and look at to see if it's something that might be worth reselling. Again, I could have missed some stuff. It's absolutely possible. So what I'm picking up right now is an antique set of readers or early educational material for teaching kids from like the 20s and 30s. Unfortunately, it's not complete. There are only 6 volumes, and I need 7. If I had found 7, it would be worth roughly $50 to $70. But because I don't have the complete set, I can't get enough for them for me to pay $12 for those books. Especially since it would take a lot longer because I don't have the complete set. So I just passed on that. I just wanted to show you guys this. It's an entire table full of just books about cats. And I love the fact that that is actually the most full table in this entire book sale. Is well, besides the cookbooks, there's a lot of cookbooks, but second to that is the cat table, which brings me so much joy. So I'm just struggling, rocking around this giant stack of books at this point. I'm just doing my best. I like the fact that I've worked out enough now to where it's easy for me to carry, over 50 pounds of anything and to be fine for a prolonged period of time. As a bookseller, that's definitely super helpful. But yeah, I'm just carrying this giant stack of books with me. So this is a Time Life series. The last time I did this book sale, I found a complete Civil War set series. I sold that for almost $150. Well, over $150 when I do the paid shipping. But this is the World War II series. And if you have the complete Time Life World War II series, that is also worth well over $150. Unfortunately, this is only like 12 books. So they do sell, but they sell slower. And they wanted $10 for these, which is granted less than I would have had to have paid.
That's kind of you.
And you can see this kind lady has offered me a shopping cart. She saw me struggling carrying all these books as I increased my pile, and she was kind enough to get me a cart. So again, volunteers here are always super nice. Everyone I've ever encountered at this church has been super nice. And again, I love this church book sale, and I'm always super grateful whenever they hold it. So I do decide to pass on the Time Life set, and I'm just going through gonna go to the next table, which is, biographies and more history stuff, just to see if there's anything that catches my attention. I'm glad that I have this cart now, but unfortunately this is where I'm going to have to say goodbye to you for the shopping portion of this video. But I will show you everything that I got when I get back to the boys' house. So I'm gonna give you to Other Bob, and we're gonna show you the goodies.
All right, well, I think the shopping footage got cut off halfway through, but I did find 3 children's books at the end that should pay for everything, to be honest. I did pay $31 because I rounded up because it is going to a church. And when I get to the boys' house, I will share with you my haul and tell you where I'm going to sell it and what I could get for it, or what I think I can get for it. All right, I have all the books down here on the table that I will slightly tip you guys so you can see. Not really, you're just looking at the floor now. Here are the books that I picked up right here. My light box is right there, so I can go ahead and start getting them listed. I'm going to show you what I picked up. So I have 3 books that I will probably keep. This is Ari Salvatore, The Lone Drow. This is the 2nd book in the Hunter's Blade trilogy. I have the 3rd book in hardcover. I'm just missing the 1st one now, so that would be great if I magically come across that one. I found a Mercedes Lackey book I actually do not have. This is Reserved for the Cat. It's part of the Elemental Master series by her. So this will add to my own collection. I am definitely keeping this one. This is the only one I haven't decided if I'm keeping or not because I haven't read the book. This is Red Mars by Kim Stanley Robinson. 2 reasons why I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. 1, I haven't read the book. It is part of my Nebula Award Challenge. I'm trying to read all the Nebula Award winners. The 2nd is, while this is a hardcover, you can see the dust jacket does have a condition issue, a couple of condition issues. But if I enjoy this book, then I will be more than happy to just overlook that because it'll be a hardcover and that'll allow me to sell the trilogy. I do have the entire Mars trilogy in paperback because I think almost every book is an award winner, and if I like it, I'll keep it. But those are the 3 books that are going to stay with me. These are the books that are going up on Pango. The first one is Nut Hampson, Growth of the Soil. This is going on Pango. It does have a cut here in the front and a dedication from 1989. It says, "To Sarah from Jan Perry and Ambrecht. Welcome to Norway." Nut Hansen, of course, is a Scandinavian author, and this is considered a classic work. It is in English, so that will go up on Pango. This is The Remains of the Day by Katsuo Ishiguro. I actually have this already. This is a Butler fiction by him. It's also a movie. Eileen, you can't wait until I'm done. It's a pretty girl. Okay. I actually already own this in brand new condition. I found that at another book. I found that at a thrift store, so this one will go up. It is
well, it's not modern fiction, it's still vintage fiction because this was originally written in 1980s. This was made into a movie, it's winner of a Nobel Prize. He's considered a great author. I just have never read any of his works. It's on the TBR. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner. This is The Sympathizer, another award winner, trade paperback that will sell on Pango. This is Ernest Hemingway, A Farewell to Arms. Any of Hemingway I put up on Pango, it sells, especially these really nice trade paperbacks. And then Ender's Game, which is another Nebula award-winning book. Nice little trade paperback here. I pick up Ender's Game whenever I find it. When it's in good shape, it almost always sells for me on Pango. Or whatnot, doesn't matter. It just sells. It's one of those books that just sells and sells and sells. I mean, they don't sell for a whole lot because it's published and republished all the time, but it is a book that is very popular and remains popular to this day. I remember my brother avidly reading all of the Ender books when he was a kid, and that was at a time when I thought fantasy was for girls and sci-fi was for boys. Or at least that's what I was told. So I now have learned that that's not true. We'll hopefully read. I do need to read Speaker for the Dead. I do own that book. So that is, again, a Nebula Award winner, so I will eventually read it. The next set of books will actually be up on Whatnot. I'm just going to show you the spines because this will be in a book haul in my book channel. But here is this. A lot of Isaac Asimov, Alan Dean Foster, and Alfred Hitchcock. So that'll be a nice little stack over there. And then this is the Moneymaker stack, the true Moneymaker stack. I found this. This is The Longest Night by J.N. Williamson. Vintage horror, sells very well and sells for decent money. This little paperback that I paid $1 for at this book sale. Actually, it's a great cover too. I think this is an amazing cover. So there is that one. This is Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. This is one of his most well-known works, and this is the International Collectors Library. Just a really nice, you know, shelf candy book. I haven't checked this one to see if this will sell well on eBay. If not, I might actually keep this one just because it's green and it is shelf candy. But we will see. I will put this in its own separate pile. This book I have shown on this channel multiple times, both me picking it up and me selling it because, well, it sells. This is The Stuffed Cougar. It is one of the recipe books I get very excited about. I believe I've talked about it when I was doing the shopping video. It is an instant pickup for me. It normally sells for around $15 to $20 and it sells very quickly. This has a very high sell-through rate. It is a Richmond specific cookbook that just sells well. So very excited to have picked this up. This is the Church Mice at Christmas vintage religious books. So this has cats and it's a vintage Christmas book. So I did look this up. I actually ended up looking up all of these kids' books because I just had feelings about them. Again, I don't normally look up books. I just stick with my gut, and it's 25 cents. So couldn't have lost but so much. It does have a little ephemera cardstock of Santa Claus in it. But the Church Mice Christmas, this does sell on eBay for $12 to $20, just depending on if you have the paperback or the hardcover. This is the paperback. It does have someone's name in pencil. I will erase that as best I can. Very pretty children's book. Another one you guys saw me pick up at the beginning and then put it back down. I did end up picking it up because I realized that why am I putting this down? It's only 25 cents. I know this will sell for at least $10 on eBay. And that, when I looked it up, is correct. It does sell between $10 and $15 on eBay. This is Care Bear's Book of Favorite Bedtime Stories. Of course, Care Bears are from the 80s. And it's just the Care Bears do little short versions of classic fairy tales. There is that. And then this book I picked up because it was just beautiful. This screamed 60s to me, and that is when it was from. This is Calico Pie. It is a UK children's book. It's Calico Pie and Other Nonsense. This copy is from 1968. And it's just very cute, vibrant, beautiful 1960s illustrations in here. And this particular one was selling again on eBay for $10 to $15. So as I mentioned, these 3 children's books will pay for everything else, but I think for $31, I'm happy to support the local church and pick up some books because I haven't done any sourcing in a long time. And most of the people that I saw in there were shopping for themselves. I didn't see any Amazon sellers there. So it was just a bunch of people shopping for books for themselves. I think I was like the only person who's shopping to resell. So it was nice. It was just it's just a really nice sale, and they only have it 1 to 2 times a year. So I'm really glad that I got to go and take you guys with me. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye.